Hey everybody, this is Tactical Reserves. I'm Brinks.
I'm Zach.
I'm Troy.
I'm Chad.
And this week we're going to be going over essentially our feelings from 8th to 9th, a little more in depth than the weeks before, and our questions as usual. So let's start with hobbying. I built a Void Dragon and painted the shit out of it this week, and it looks really good.
It does look nice.
It's not as big as I thought it would be.
I've been saying that every week.
Once it's built, though, it's
still a unit
size.
It
it's
is
not
a
as bad as when you just showed me the box. I was like,
I thought it was going to be like, Magnus size.
It's close. It doesn't have the wingspan, obviously, but it's taller than I expected.
I think it looks great, and it looks cool, and it's a sweet-looking model. I'm just disappointed that it's not just massive.
They
be
definitely
huge.
messed with perspective when they showed the pictures.
Definitely. The low angle.
But I painted him like a golden god, and the gold, like, it's cool because the way it looks is it's like a gold flesh tone. So it's kind of like a really cool godlike feel to it. I'm really happy with it. It's not done. I've got to go into like the super minor detail stuff, which I'll be doing tomorrow.
It reminds me of from Tyrael from like Diablo 2. The angel comes through.
Yeah.
It's the way you did the color scheme.
Yeah,
it matches your Silent King too, so.
Yeah, everything. I had to get Rust on there, He's a god, but he's got rusty wings, so I don't know. That's what I did this week, and I worked on the Gorkanaut some. Zach, any hobbying?
Nope.
Troy?
I worked on like the really fine stuff on my keepers. They have so much like jewelry and shit on them. It's taken me a long time, but I did a little bit on them.
Nice. Are you doing that jeweled paint?
No, I don't have any of that, but I need to figure out some way to do like a metallic thing. But yeah, I haven't messed around with it too much.
I've got Soulstone Blue if you want to borrow it, because you can do silver and then paint the blue over it, and then that's what Zach's did on his jeweled stuff, and it looks mint.
I have to try it.
And I haven't even opened my Soulstone yet, so
Cool.
you
Just
just borrow it.
one to open the Soulstone Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take it back. I did hobby.
Oh.
I got to tell him on Dread back in action.
He did.
Oh.
Leg back to work. I know. It said hi to me.
Had to fix some arms and fix some legs, but got two of them on the table.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
We'll get there, yeah.
Did you do any hobbying this week?
I touched up an Intercessor squad. I started painting an Assault Intercessor squad. They'll be done by Tuesday or so. I traded for a Redemptor Dread, a bunch of Intercessor bits, because I had 10 extra ones. I traded those for, and a Redemptor Dreadnought. I got my third ATV in the mail, and it got built, and the fourth one's coming. And then
You got 4 ATV. Are they units?
He played 4 when he played. Yeah, they're units of 2.
Okay.
they're units of 3, but I'm only playing 2 and 2. And
Fucking Space Marines. God damn it.
and I have a Primaris Tech Marine, the new one, coming. I have a cool kit bash idea for it. And we're thinking about taking the ATVs, one of them, and lifting it. It would make it a big yee truck, real huge. And if it looks cool, I might do all 4 of them that way. I don't know.
That'd be funny. If it was an orc model.
Sunshine
But it's a
wants it.
Space Marine model.
And I the reason I traded the Intercessors for the Redemptor Dread is because there's an idea that the Kayvon, one of the guys, has for his orcs. He's going to make a squad of Ultra Boys. I traded all the Intercessor bits so he can he can Ultramarine up some orcs. It's going to look cool when it's done.
His army is insane.
We
so good.
It looks.
I hope that gets a good codex in 9th, because it sucks.
They're
that it
so
looks
cool on the table, But yeah, I'm excited. Four ATVs right now. Maybe it might get to 6. I don't know.
That seems like a little much.
That's for a trash model. That's a lot.
Yeah, trash ball. But yeah, I did a lot. I'm gonna paint a little today too. Blood of the Blood God on the sword. I'm still sketching on. I might show him to Zach because he's better at doing blood work than I am on stuff like that. After seeing his model, so we'll see.
So
a lot of hobbying.
So we're obviously going to do our game of the week, which was Zach and Troy. I do want to. Have you changed any tech in your list since last time we talked?
My list is almost completely different.
Can we hear it? I want to go over.
I did not expect almost completely different.
That's a statement.
So
I think what
weird
we need
way
to
to say that,
because we are testing every week, right? So I think every week we should update. That way listeners can see the cycle of changes we make. Because I've made huge changes, and I want to just touch on what I've done, and then listen to their game of the week.
So the list I have that I'm playing right now is the list I played in Kavon this week against Orcs, and I smashed. I won pretty handily. My HQ, I'm playing one Spearhead. Okay, start with 11 command points. Okay,
But your whole army is just in one spearhead?
one Spearhead, yeah,
And you're playing Bobby G.
and with Bobby G.
Yeah, that's still okay. Let's hear it.
I have a captain on a bike. Okay. And he's kind of kitted out with the Sancta Halo, gives him a 3 up invulnerable and the Sacred Deny, and I paid 40 points to make him a Chapter Master. So reroll everything. And his Warlord trade's Iron Resolve, so he has 6 wounds, and he's on a bike, and he has 2 guns, and a Power Sword, and a Mastercrafted Bolt Gun. He's 150 points, but he's worth it. And then I'm playing the new Primaris Tech Marine, which is busted for 80 points. I love his gun. You can shoot his gun and his pistol both in the same turn with no penalty. 2 troop squads, 1 assault intercessor squad at full 100 with the plasma pistol, a regular intercessor squad with a grenade launcher, 1 apothecary, a redemptor dread with 2 fragstorm grenade launchers, the heavy flamer, a rocket pod, and the macro plasma incinerator, an ATV squad of 2 with the multi-meltas, and an ATV squad of 2 with the onslaught Gatling cannon.
Those go in spearheads?
They're fast attacks.
You get 2.
You get 2
You get
fast
2 fast
attacks in a
attacks.
It's just like a
spearhead?
patrol. You get 2 of everything except
Okay.
for
You
heavy.
get 5 heavies, right?
I think.
Yeah,
5 or 6.
but I'm only playing 3 heavies,
Okay.
which are a squad of 5 eradicators, a squad of 4 eradicators, and the new relic Leviathan Dreadnought. How his points are exactly.
Did
the
you
same.
like that?
It's only 240. The range is ridiculous. The hit on 3s is mad, but when you reroll everything,
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. And Bobby G, exactly 2,000.
Nice. That is completely different.
Yep.
That's kind of crazy.
You're
And
still running the storm cannons on the Leviathan Dread.
on the Leviathan, the Storm Cannon Array, yeah. My Leviathan Dread is 2 Storm Cannon Arrays and Heavy Flamer.
Weren't people talking about the Grav Flux
Yeah, I think so.
was going to be the new
That
hotness?
might be. Yeah.
What's the new stat line on the Grav Flux Bombard?
I don't know if it's on there yet.
Oh yeah.
It's updated.
I saw him. I saw 30 boys attack 2 ATVs, and then they killed one, and Chad backed it up and brought it back. That was pretty nasty. And then killed all
30
the
boys came in. I killed they killed 1 ATV through the 30 boys. That's the only thing I lost was 1 ATV. I killed half of them, and then on my turn I backed up, killed the rest of them, and brought the ATV back at full health.
Yeah, it was
Bullshit.
Nasty. It was nasty.
And got the CP back, because Bobby G.
Wow. Wow.
It was a beating.
That sounds rough.
Plus, I have so many meltas now. Like, those 2, that's a lot of shots. And then between those 2 and the 1 intercessor squad and the relic with the storm cannon arrays, I can handle, chafe and everything. And then everything else is a melta.
Yeah, actually, if I was building that list, or anybody building something like that, I don't even know if you need the dreadnoughts. Between the go-karts and the executioners, you just got so much movement, range, power. Like,
Meltas are gross.
it's like some infiltrators and board control.
The captain on the bike has been sweet too. I wasn't sure I liked him, but he just runs around with ATVs.
Wait, you mean a captain that can move 14 inches
Look at that.
is good?
And plus, when they get in there on combat, he still has a power
Rerolls
sword.
everything because he's a chapter master.
Yeah, the 40 points, I wasn't too sure about it. Basically, I had 2 squads of 5 eradicators, but I went to a squad of 5 and a squad of 4 to make him a chapter master. Totally worth it.
Nice. That's cool, man. I did not realize you'd made that many changes to your list. I basically changed my whole Necron list. It's a double patrol. Mephrit Dynasty is the first one. It's a Technomancer, 20 warriors with Reapers. Basically to get that Strength 5 AP3 1 damage in the close range. 10 Tomb Blades, same thing. At half range, they got 3 inches extra range on their weapons, so it's 17.5 inches. You get Rapid Fire 2, and you get the additional AP, and they've got 14 inches of movement. So their threat range is 32.5 inches at Strength 5 AP3 damage 1, and 4 shots per model. So it's 20 shots, and I got 2 units that can do that. So they're bringing the pain, and they're core.
Oh.
They're the only non troop core choice in the codex, but that's actually super relevant. And then 5 Locust Destroyers. Now, they got to be at 12-inch range, but at 12 inches, they're Strength 6, AP -4, damage D3. and they've got 3 shots apiece. So that unit, and it rerolls all failed hits and wounds. So that unit,
Deep strike them and then they just come in.
no, but they've got 8 inches of movement, and their weapon's 24-inch range. So, and they're regular AP3. So they're pretty good. And then my other unit is the Custom Dynasty that has the 6-inch pregame movement, and the everything has objective secured. So, and anything with objective secured, it's double secured. So I've got 20 warriors with the flayers on them, which is the long range weapon, and they count as 40 on an objective because they're double. I've got 5 Scorpec destroyers, which are just insane. I've talked about those, ad nauseum. Huh?
That's the one with the axe, the combat one.
It's the unit of them, not the big guy, but the little guys.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they're insane. So, like, they're offensively, for the points, the best model in the army. It's 190 points for a total of, let's see here. There are 4 attacks for 4, so 16 attacks at strength 5, AP -3, flat 2 damage, and then an additional 3 attacks at strength 7, AP -4, flat 3 damage.
They get 7 attacks each.
Jesus.
No. The first
the
ones are
sergeant-
16
The
attacks.
sergeant has 3 attacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said each of them had an additional 3 attacks. It's like, whoa.
No. But for 190 points, that's like an absurd amount
no, that's
of
good.
pain. And then I threw a plasma sight in there as a little buffer. So that's the 190 also includes a 1 wound buff. So that thing can take the first shot for the unit because it's built into the unit. So like say he shoots his plasma guys at it, I can have that guy, because it's got the same saves.
Gotcha.
Roll the save there and take the first shot. Hopefully it'll let me keep a base. And then I've got 18 total Scarab Swarms. I could only run, if I could run 27 of them, I would. I can't find, the problem is needing 3 fast attack slots and not wanting to run a battalion, right? And not wanting to pay for a Vanguard, I believe it is, or an Outrider, whichever one the fast attack is.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of at the point where I'm just going to use the 2 full units of 9, but those guys, it's 36 wounds for 135 points, and they're next to a Chronomancer, which can give them a 5-up invuln. So they're T3, 5-up invuln, 36 wounds for 135 points. And then they get 36 attacks that auto wound on hit rolls of 6.
And you can
So-
blow them up for mortal wounds.
And you can blow them up for mortal wounds if they're within engagement range.
Oh, that's gross.
D3 mortal
Well,
wounds
one at
for
a time.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I've got 2 Canoptic Doomstalkers because they're insane, and especially when you add objective secured to them, they just basically sit on the backfield and laser shit.
Nice.
So, like, Canoptic Doomstalkers having 48-inch range weapon, so you basically just plant them on an objective and just shoot across the board the whole game. And the 6-inch pregame move is kind of one of those things that's nice. If I go first, I can go ahead and move them out into an offensive position without having to count them as moving on their turn. And if I'm going second, I can move them into a defensive position. So that's why I like the 6-inch pregame move. And obviously, it's really good as a whole in that army. Also, Scarab Swarms, the other thing, they have 10 inches of movement and fly. So
Nice.
they get 16 inches of movement on the first turn of the game. And they're just annoying.
How many of the big Doomstalkers did you say you were playing?
2.
So that's like your only dedicated anti-tank,
No, I would say the destroyers are anti-tank as well.
but they have a really short range.
Yeah.
They're still only strength 6. I mean, they are anti-tank, but not like...
Yeah, and they
Not
reroll
like
failed
three
hits and wounds hit.
Oh yeah, they're
What are you
obviously
thinking over there?
Yeah,
I see
I'm
the
just
wheels
saying.
turning.
T8 seems like could be problematic.
T8 could be annoying, but nobody's playing it because the Eradicators are everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my big adjustment. And the Scorpec destroyers are also pretty good at anti-tank, but they have to actually touch stuff.
Right.
Then again, a lot of people aren't overwatching, but I don't have...
They have to make it across the board.
Yeah, they do have to make it across the board, and they only got
It's not
8
so
inches of
much-
movement.
Not so much the Overwatch I'd be concerned with, it's the physically getting them there.
With the 20 warriors with the -3 guns,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you're
they'd
doing
be a problem.
Yeah, even
There's still-
Russ is if
yeah.
every wound you get through is a 6-up save. Like it's gonna be a
Yeah.
problem.
I mean, they're probably not going to get... so what, they get 2 shots each?
It's 40 shots at strength 5.
Probably looking at like 10 maybe get through, maybe. But still, they'd be putting a hurting on something.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know if we were. I mean, it just seems like you're leaning on volume of fire pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going back to my 8th edition roots when it comes to tons and tons of shots. The big reason why is because there's really not very good, efficient, like super high strength firepower. Like you really got to pay a lot of points for really high strength firepower in Necrons, and it just doesn't seem to fit the list as for what I'm trying to do right now. Like the most dangerous thing in against them are probably the ATVs, but I don't even consider the ATVs like a super huge threat because I've got good mobility and the Tomb Blades can keep up with them and kind of bring the pain to them. And everything else is a Marine. So I'm trying. I consider. I mean, if I played against Guard right now, like this would be my worst possible list for Guard. Because if you go first, I think you would pepper the Doomstalkers off the board, and then it's just basically I'm going to be tucking and hiding.
It sounds like you have enough units and movement to do that pretty efficiently, though.
Yeah, I've got 2 units with 10 inches of movement, 2 units with 14 inches of movement, a unit that can have 20 that can.
The Scarab Swarms have protocols too? Reanimation protocol?
I don't know. That's a good question.
They didn't before.
I don't remember them having that. So
I don't know if they do now.
they do.
Oh God. So 36.
But they're 4 wounds.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I've never even actually paid attention to it because rolling 4 6s or 5s or 6s to get one back is pretty rough. They're worse than destroyers when it comes to getting them back. But it is possible. It's just it's another one of those models that you're only going to lose 1 or 2 a turn. It's like killing a Nurgling base.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty hard to kill them.
It's cheaper than an Erling. I don't like it. It's
Yeah.
cheaper. It moves further. It has higher toughness.
Better attacks.
Better attacks.
Can it forward deploy though?
No, but they get 10 inches of movement and a free 6-inch pregame
They get
movement.
6 inches per game,
Stupid.
but they can't.
And they have objectives secured.
Nurglings
In my
Nurglings
list, I know,
have it.
but it's nice that they actually have it.
Yeah, 'cause yours are fast attacks.
Yeah. The big thing is with what they're doing, with what the Scarabs are doing, is it's making people make really bad decisions most of the time because you get people panicking on primaries because I can cover so many primaries on the first turn that I feel like I'm making people expose themselves, and like it hasn't clicked to the meta as a whole that they have 4 wounds apiece. Like you see 9 little Scarabs on the board and you're like, whatever. But when you realize that you have to deal 36 wounds to clear them, like...
And 9 of them, you could just like...
cover the whole objective.
You just make like a 3-inch circle around the objective and...
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, that's pretty much what you do is you cover the objective. It's making players make bad decisions. It was like the first 2 weeks I played the shards, right? Like the Nightbringer and stuff like that. It was making people make bad decisions. Once people realized to stop making those bad decisions, the gameplay adjusted. So right now, I feel like I'm just ahead of the meta in how they're playing. But once people figure it out, we'll see where it goes. They're still going to be good. They're the cheapest wound per point model in the game. So, and they can have a 5-up info. Anyway, let's talk about the game of the week. I just wanted to talk about the list because it's drastically different, and I've had a lot of messages from Necron players, so I wanted to answer that.
Oh.
So, Zach, what did you play this week? I know it's got 2 Telemons in it.
Ugh, it does.
Well, we decided to play a game. It was late Monday when I decided I could actually get out of the house. And I've been playing home games for the last 8 months. I had to dig out a to-go bag, and I was like, I do not have time to pack Guard, so I guess I'm just going to take Custodes. And what's the smallest Custodes list I had was one with 2 Telemann Dreads, a Galatus Dread, and my big blob of Terminators. It's like, here we go. That's it.
So, triple dread.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played
3 dreads
Just
and
two of them were Telemanns.
How many Terminators?
10 Terminator, a squad of 10 Terminators, because the Galatus Dread is an elite, so you can't play 2. In the patrol, you can only have 2 elites. So
Yeah.
you had to play the big squad of Terminators. Played Trajan as your warlord. Played 2 squads of Guardians, 1 squad of 4, 1 squad of 3, and 2 Telemanns with the new rules.
Did they feel good?
Gross.
They felt pretty good.
They each had a fist.
Yeah, put a fist on each of them.
One on each.
What you
One
weren't
of
even going
each.
to do before the game, right? You were going to put double fist on one of them?
I don't know if I'm going to put double fist on one or not.
One of
I
each
remember you
on
were
both.
talking about it
is-
before we started.
If I play 3, I think one gets a double fist for sure.
Yeah. I
Oh.
don't think you need 3. Each one of those is like killing a Baneblade. It just isn't going to happen.
It's
with
You should
better
put-
saves.
You should
It's
put
nasty.
right arm gun and left arm fist on one, and the other one left arm gun and right
Well,
arm
it
fist
turns
on
out
one.
that's how it works when you have magnets and
yeah.
Ha-ha.
That's generally how it works.
Paint them.
And what did you play,
paint 'em the
Troy?
exact
I
same?
played my Nurgle. I called it Try Hard. It wasn't that good, but yeah, I played a Nurgle list, bunch of demons and Death Guard. I had 4 squads of Nurglings, 3 demon princes, 1 demon, 2 Death Guard, 56 plague bearers,
Gosh.
6 plague bears.
10 Blight Lord Terminators, and a squad of plague marines, patrol of Death Guard.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was a hide behind a bunch of plague bearers and throw psychic powers and hope you can't kill 56 plague bearers, which Telemons with guns and flamers and fists, they can do. They can do pretty easy.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a
You killed
change. Like,
56 plague bears.
Oh yeah, he killed more than that because I brought some back.
God. All right, so we know Zach won, obviously from the pregame.
Well, was the points close, or was it just full boots?
It was close for a while. Like we were at like 48 to 46 in the 4th turn. But the thing was, so this is what ended up happening. I realized that why I wouldn't take the same list. My demon princes, he took Assassinate and Abhor the Witch, which I don't think should be in the same thing, but we can talk about it later if you want. And I took While We Stand We Fight. My demon princes were actually worth 13 points each.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
he
didn't
kills
think-
it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
We've talked about that. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Kill the demon prince, lose 5, and Zach gains 8.
Yeah, I didn't think about it full in the beginning, but I also didn't expect him to run 3 dreadnoughts in my face. I wasn't ready. I hadn't played in a while. I just wasn't ready for that.
So if you were
I've
to,
never played that list either.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just the smallest list I had, and I was short on time, so I was like, just pack the big models and let's go.
If it was any other dreadnought list, I would just jump the demon princes up and try and take them out, and probably would. But 4 invulnerable dreadnoughts, T8, reduced damage by 1. Demon princes aren't going to do it.
dude, I
It's not
remember when
gonna-
I tried to attack
With
his
a
Telemon
fist.
with my demon prince? Woof.
Yeah,
I think
they
I
didn't
dealt
have
1
fists.
wound.
But his have fists
Yeah,
now,
it's even
so when you're
worse.
in there,
Flat
it's
4
worse.
damage, fist, like
Flat 4 damage.
it's
Drink 16, my
yeah, it's like what am I supposed to do with that? No, my 5 up invulnerable.
So,
Squish.
if you were to change the list, to adjust the list, what would it
I've come up with a new list right now. I took out the 3 demon princes because I want them to be good, but it's
Aren't there
just
bloodthirsters and stuff?
no.
be?
It's-
Abhor the Witch is broken right now.
yeah, it is.
It's too good.
I don't think you should be able to stack it with assassinate. It's
Agreed.
a big thing because all psychers are characters except for a few thousand suns.
Right.
So, but I took it out for 1 Great Unclean one. Well, I had the Sloppy Biopiper too, but he stays, and a Chaos Lord, and a few more Marines. I just
Isn't it weird how Chaos Lord feels good because it's not a Psyker?
yeah, exactly.
Like, it's frustrating.
So then that gives me only 3 characters. Well, I have a Filed Blight spawn too, which I don't have a model yet, but that dude's insane. So
Yes, that's the Plague Flamer, right?
Yeah, and-
yeah, that guy is insane.
and if you charge within like 7 inches of him, he makes 1 unit fight last.
Plague weapons are gross, by the way.
Yeah, they reroll failed wound rolls
Ridiculous.
natively.
Well, once reroll wounds rolls of 1. But yeah.
One, yeah, that's what I meant once. Sorry.
Still,
So then I still have a little bit of Saga Power, and the big mistake I think I made in that game was I deep struck my Terminators, and I think I needed them behind to protect alongside the Plague Bearers.
How do you feel about putting them in a drill or a claw
I mean, I played
if it gets allowed in your codex?
the Claw maybe. The drill I've actually played before. The drill's nasty. It's great. I love
I
it.
don't want to talk about it.
I ran into a bunch of Marines and they just shoot them up.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was also a solution.
Yeah, it's good. I mean,
It's just fitting the points.
yeah. Actually, that was my original build of the list after Zach beat me. Was I took out the 3 Demon Princes, took Great Unclean one, Floppy Ball Pirate, Chaos Lord, which randomly doesn't have Disgusting Resilient, and a drill. But then I was like, I can't play the drill, so I just took a bunch of extra pleasure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It sounds like it'd be good. Yeah, I think that if they're not in a drill, they just got to be on the ground, like just being annoying.
I needed the firepower because the way I got them, like I actually bought them already built and painted. So they have 4 Combi Meltas and a Combi Plasma, and I had 2 flails. So they're actually super stout and have a fair amount of firepower. So I needed to just put them on the line. I don't know if it would have flipped the game any, but I might have been able to get a dreadnought.
Well,
Maybe.
playing While We Stand We Fight and getting aboard the Witch and Assassinate is rough.
Yeah, I shouldn't have taken it. Zach's army's really hard to take secondaries against.
It's very hard to take secondaries against. That's like always. That's like my goal in my builds right now is to like make there be no good choices in secondaries.
I did get 14 in engage, and I deployed all my scramblers.
Nice. I mean, you kept it really close. It's just
I lost. I had one Demon Prince at the end. I think was gonna make it because I ended up just running them away when he started chewing through the plague bears. They got 12-inch moves, so they can fly pretty fast. But
yeah.
I was trying to box him in.
yeah, I got kind of pinned, and we had the corners, not diagonal, but the square corners that's got the round center in the middle for the deployment.
Oh yeah.
And he just ran right across and kind of had me boxed in before I could get out, and it was bad.
So Zach, we got your list. What did you like or didn't like about it? What changes would you make?
I didn't have the Forge World book, but I had the points and stuff. I wasn't 100% sure that the fist gives you an extra attack. Each fist gives you one, and it does. So I didn't play it like it did. And they were still really good.
Yeah, you didn't need to one attack.
So now, with one fist, they'll get 6 attacks if you take the Eternal Pendant.
Oh god.
So that's pretty good.
4 attack or 6 attacks.
At strength 16.
Strength 16
Yes.
minus
4.
4 flat 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're T8.
And they're T8.
It's only -3. Sorry.
Oh, my bad.
And they're T8.
And they have
With
a
a
4 up.
four.
And they have a 4 up invulnerable. And they have duty eternal.
And 2 up
Yeah.
regular save, so you can't
And a
just,
6 up Feel No Pain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Zach doesn't make 6 up though. It's fine.
The
leave them.
elements
Yeah.
feel really good.
So you're gonna
The
play.
little sword guy wasn't bad either.
Yeah, the
Like,
Galatas.
he's not really little, but he's littler.
Little Telemon.
He's better. His flamer range got increased like everybody's, so that's great. He got an extra attack, and I put the Eternal Pendant on. Gives you reroll charges and +1 attack for 1 CP at the start of the game. So I just gave it to all 3 of them. So he was getting like 7 attacks.
Yeah.
Average. Like he's pretty good.
Well, and it's nice that you don't have to hide them. You know, you can just run them out there, and
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like,
You can't complain about not doing anything more because they definitely did work.
Yeah, I put him on the line because I knew he wasn't going to be able to kill him, and I just took the center objective because they had, 5 objectives?
Yeah, we have the 5 objective one.
And there was one right in the middle of the thing that I had more movement than he did with his plague bears. So I just got on the objectives and started shooting plague bears until there wasn't any plague bears to shoot.
I don't think there's anything that can mathematically kill a Telemon on the first turn. Like, if somebody shoots their whole army at it, maybe.
Emerald City rolled out a castle and shooting at it, and he got like 4 wounds on it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, it's nasty. It's strong.
It's just the saves are so good. The 2-up native, like if it was always on a 4-up, it'd be something. But
Yeah,
like the
no.
fact that you can't just like volume it out with like lower AP
And it's
damage.
still T8, unlike the Leviathan Dreads.
Yeah.
So it's
And
Yeah.
big part of my army is being -1 to hit is the plague bears, and it doesn't really affect people that hit on 2s that much.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
reroll,
Because they're still hitting on 3s.
Yeah,
like it's
crazy unless you reroll everything. So it's just. And he had a bunch of flamers. It just was a. Because when you take the fist, you get a flamer too, right?
yeah, it has a 2D3 flamer.
What's the range on it?
I think it's 12 now.
Okay.
I think most flamers are 12, except for the Thousand Suns flamer.
The Galatas Dreadnought is 6 attacks, but it gets an additional D3 when it charges.
Yeah, D3 when
Jesus
That's what they-
Christ.
It's. I mean, it sounds good.
But it's
definitely-
only strength 7, so it's not like as absurd. But he's really good at killing Marines. It's -3 damage,
Yeah.
and he's got a 4-up invulnerable, and he's -1 to hit in combat. So you just run them, you just sprint them at things, and they kill them. Okay. So
No,
I have
it-
700 points worth of Terminators that are actual problems.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that
Yeah.
list, like I feel like my
You didn't even get to you didn't even mention the part of this list
because
that's the real
he-
deal.
He unleashed the lines on the Terminators like pretty early, right?
Turn 2.
Yeah, and I took the back objective in his deployment zone, kind of, but he could just run one Terminator back there and take it back from me because they were objective secured. Because I took it with Terminators.
His 10 Terminators weren't objective secured, so I could put
Yeah.
one on there.
So I would
to
like
keep
kill
him
him.
from scoring.
I'd like kill him, but on his turn, you just run one back there and take it back from me. It's like,
that's rough. Objective secured on everything is
which is
powerful.
one thing that doesn't like. The more I thought about it, I was like, that is nasty, but that's literally the only army that can do anything like that. Like nobody else could pull that trick off. So a couple things there. You have the hardest to kill dreadnought. So when I first lost my list, it's like, this list is garbage. It gives it way too many points and everything. The more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, that was a really hard army to beat.
Yeah, I will say, like, my Necron list was initially, I was like, well, Custodes are like an auto win for me. My current list, they're a problem, especially if you're playing multiple Telemon Dreads. Like, but it's kind of one of those things, like, even if you do the math, like, trying to kill them with a Nightbringer, killing a Telemon Dread with a Nightbringer doesn't happen, like, in one turn.
I mean,
I don't even think we're
this is.
I mean, you don't get the invulnerable, and you don't get the feel no pain.
But he's only strength 7, right? With his highest strength attack, and you still
D6 damage. Though.
D6 damage.
I mean,
you still reduce the damage.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Let's go back.
Maybe. That'd be probably the strongest attack.
So it hits on 3s, right? So we're gonna say out of the
I'm
6.
not gonna say you're gonna kill it, but I'm not. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say it hits on 3s, so it's AP minus, and so we'll say out of the 6 attacks it gets 4 convert, right?
3.5.
Yeah,
And then
5s.
Yeah, and it wounds on 5s.
So 2 of those.
So yeah, 2 of those,
Yeah.
and you have a 6 up. So both of those go through, but even if I roll max damage is only 12.
And even if you save 1.
So and then it gets shot and it gets bobbed.
Yeah.
And then you go to your turn and you shoot it again and it's dead.
Yeah.
Just nuts.
It's crazy.
Go back. This is
4 flat damage. You're losing damage there.
Yeah.
I'm not very efficient.
Like, go back. This is episode 20. Go back to episode 10, and he's playing the Telemon Dread, one of them, and he's like, it's just Deep Strike. It's not doing anything. It just comes in and doesn't do anything. And now it's like,
When it's 1,
Jesus.
Well, now it's. I don't know if it's gotten that much more durable or.
Everything else got
else
weaker.
just got less durable.
But now you could just put it on the front line. You don't ever have to worry about it dying, really. And you could just run it down people's throats.
And if it does die, that means they shot their whole army at it.
Yeah.
And before I was playing bikes, and bikes are a whole lot more fragile than Terminators. So if you want to spend 3 turns shooting at a Telemon Dread, that's fine. The Terminators are actually what...
They're the threat.
They're what wins me the games.
Yeah. I mean, that's, like, my list is exactly the adjustment to the metagame, too, is because a lot of people aren't bringing, like, because Eradicators exist, if you're not playing, if you don't play the army that can play Eradicators, you're just assuming that Eradicators are going to answer whatever questions in the meta that your army can't answer when it comes to heavy shit. And then you get a Telemon Dread.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
Yeah, the only time I ever saw him die was we fought with the Great Unclean One. And I think it took like 2 turns to kill him.
Yeah, he's died. I think I've had 3. I think all 3 of you guys have killed him once.
I killed him on the first turn once with 200. It took 200 killer missiles that hit a full storm cannon array plus Bobby G.
I remember the Great Unclean One duked it out with him in the table for like
It took
2
a
turns.
while.
It was like 2 turns we duked it out.
And I think Aaron killed one once with his Necron list. And I know Chad killed one once, but playing 8 months and losing the model 3 times, I think
That's pretty good.
It's nasty.
it's still
No,
pretty durable.
And it seems like a Zach list. Like you're getting to play big freaking dudes and stuff. It's not quite
It's like,
diesel
look at that
tanks,
big old
but
cock diesel dude. He's just
Yeah.
got a gun and an arm. And
And Unleash the Lions is such a
It's so
powerful
good.
mechanic. It's like,
yeah.
because then you've got all these units, right? And they're all pretty durable. And any kind of like big unit with a volume of fire is just like, well, do I split it? Because then you might not kill anything, and it's just, it really screws with everything.
I know by math, Space Marines is probably the best because if like there's like 5,000 games played, like they win 2,500 of them. They have like a 50% win
Yeah, because they
percentage.
play each other.
Because they play, but like Custodes is the best army, right now.
Harlequins are really good too.
I don't know if Custodes are that good.
Custodes are probably top
3.
top 4, I would say.
Custodes just play the game different, and so anybody that's not ready to play against them just gets worked.
And Custodes, like, if you like, the difference with Space Marines, right, is if I say I'm going to beat Space Marines, you can slightly tweak your list, and then I can't beat the Space Marines I came to beat. Custodes are, like, a one-trick pony, right? Like, if you go, I'm going to beat Custodes, there's not enough variance in the army, because the army's all the same thing, 2 up, 4 up.
T5.
And
Which is
T5.
good though.
It is really good, but if you say I'm gonna beat Custodes, like their codex is limited enough to where they can't heavily pivot.
But if
That's
you do
where
that
Space
and you
Marines,
focus on I'm just doing this, then you'll lose to
some
Yeah,
other stuff
that's true.
probably,
That's-
yeah.
that's
But
generally how it works.
the problem is with Space Marines you can't say that because the codex is so deep. That's what Zach talks about all the time. You can never just say I'm gonna beat Space Marines
because there's 9 chapters of Space Marines.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. They're a very deep codex. That's why Chaos is, even though it doesn't have all the Space Marine buffs, that's why Chaos is still like one of the top tier armies in the meta right now.
Because it's just got so much available to it.
It can answer questions in unique ways. Like it's just crazy. But Custodes, I would say, as far as like the size of their codex, or compare codex size, they're the most powerful army for sure, considering how few units they have. Like they can definitely do the most with the fewest units.
They were even good in 8th edition. Their biggest drawback was they didn't have this DP, and now they get 12.
Yeah, that was the only thing holding.
Yeah, that
them
was
back.
that was really the only thing holding them
I
back.
spent 3 before the game started. I still had 9. I was like, this game.
Yeah.
And once you unleash the lions, you're not, because that's where you, especially against Troy, he wasn't a very shooty army. So I think I finished the game with like 6 CP, like, because you only spend the CP on defensive stuff.
Yeah.
And if he's not shooting, then you don't care.
Yeah, because offensively you're hitting on twos. I mean, your army's a house offensively. Like the goal is to not be touched.
He spends command points to counter my super smite. That happens.
Yeah, that can happen.
But that was like, I think
That's
that was
defensive,
the first
though.
game. I think that was the first game in a while where you actually missed on that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, super smite through. It wasn't good enough.
Bricked.
But still.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad to hear.
It helps that Zach knows how to play Custodes inside and out too.
He does. He plays them really well for sure.
Yes.
I do have another Telman Dread in the box.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I'm on board.
So assuming,
just be
saying you play 3 Telemon Dreads, would you cut the other Dreadnought, the little guy?
You probably
Oh,
have
yeah.
to, because you
Is
have to
he-
play a Spearhead
is
if you
he
want
a
to play
heavy?
3 Dreadnoughts.
The little guy, is he heavy too?
No, he's an elite.
You don't have to.
No, but
Now we
Then you
want
gotta play a Spearhead,
Yeah.
which
you
is
have
a
to play
3.
a Spearhead if you play 3 Telmons anyway. But I think you'd probably, if you're playing 3 Telmons, you probably want 2 squads of Terminators
Yeah.
that are less than 10.
Yeah.
There's one big squad of 10 Terminators. That's a lot of points.
I don't know, 3 Telemons and unleashing the lions on 10 Termies.
That's a lot of.
Well, you probably play 10 Terminators. You just play them
Like,
two groups of 5.
Yeah, that makes sense.
6 and 4 or something.
So you could pop one and
3
Have another
Telemons
one.
and 20 Terminators.
Have a Death
in
Star.
there.
I played
20 Terminators.
20 Terminators.
Yeah, you're not getting that many points. That's like.
yeah, 3
That's like
Telemons.
4,000 points.
Yeah, 3 Telemons are what? Yours are 260 loaded out,
260.
right? So that'd be 600.
I think they're 275.
And the squad of
That'd be
10
780.
Terminators like 700, right?
700 points for 10 Terminators.
So that's 1,400 just in 20 Terminators.
It's
Okay,
780 unless they're.
Fine, another squad of 5, and then.
Well, he's got to pay
have
for the HQ as well.
He's got to have some HQ.
190 for your HQ.
Yeah,
You're
HQ
playing-
is actually one of his most expensive things.
So yeah, you're at 1,000 with your HQ and 3 Telemons, but you still got 1,000 points. Like that's kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
to be honest. I would fill that, up
many
with Terminators. 1,000 points of Terminators.
For sure.
Yeah, that would give you.
I like 16.
Squad of 8 and a squad of 6 or something like that.
Probably not quite 16. 13, yeah.
13.
Around
Squad of
there.
7.
13, 14, maybe.
Yeah, I'd play a
7.
squad of 5, and then I'd play a squad of 5, and
And a
I'd play a
squad of
squad of
however
8.
many you can
A squad
get.
of 8 and
There's
just
7
pop
points
the 8.
apiece, so.
Oh, 7 points apiece? Yeah, I should have figured that out.
Yeah, I'd play a squad of
Cool.
5, a squad of 8, and pop the 8, and let the 5 be a Death Star. That would be, and 3 Telemons. You just, how do you beat that?
I don't know if 3 Telmons is the play, but it'd be funny.
You're not
It's hard to
killing
kill.
them.
It's hard to kill, and with
Like,
the
there's
minus-
3
You're
objectives you
you're
own
like,
for
oh,
sure.
we have 6 objectives in this game. Well, these 3 are mine.
Can you imagine if there were only 4?
Oh God!
Oh, yeah,
He puts
it's
2
like-
of them on one.
No,
like,
just puts
come
1,
get it.
1, and 1.
It's like,
And
what
then
do
he's
you
got
bring to-
Dreadnoughts walking, or
Yeah.
Terminators walking around.
What do you bring to kill them? Like 2 damage weapons don't do anything because they reduce 1 damage.
They just 1 damage. Yeah.
High damage weapons like melters or whatever, you have 4 from vulnerable. You need like flat 3, flat 4 damage weapons, which really don't exist outside of the mana core.
The only thing I could do to one is get Bobby on it, but I don't really want to do that if I'm going to take,
And
4 damage attacks.
even with the mortal wounds, like you're probably not going to kill it.
No, because what is it, like 14 wounds on a
14
Dreadnought?
Oh,
6 up, feel no pain.
6 that feel no pain, 4 up invulnerable.
Yeah,
Damage
like, so
reduced by 1.
you're looking at your mortal wounds to pull you through, and that's not going
We
to
got to
do it.
roll some 6s.
Like I was thinking about it with Mortarion, it's like yeah, you get some mortal wounds on there, but
Mortarion could still probably kill him.
Because he has
Maybe.
a psychic face.
No, just with
just 'cause-
27 attacks
just because he wounds
where
on 2s because he gives it -1 toughness.
Yeah, and the 27 attacks
So what
auto
is
mortal
his
wound.
strength?
I was hitting on 4.
Plus 1 to wound.
So you can -1 strength him, and then you're back to.
And so you wound on 3s, right? Yeah.
3s.
Well, he's got the big attack. You are Imperium too, which is what hurts you.
That's the thing, is that playing the Shadow Keepers and reducing the strength by 1 really takes the teeth out of things like Eradicators.
Yeah, he did it to my Terminators, and it was like, oh, okay, now they're winning on 5s.
1 on 5, suck it.
Yeah. No, that's good. I will say I contacted some people about some Harlequins. I'm hoping to pick that up as like my other pivot army. I think they're gross. It's the same list I said on like episode 2.
Yeah.
It's literally the same list.
That list hasn't really changed, but they really don't have any units to change it to. So.
No, it's just so good. Like it's really annoying to beat. It's really annoying to deal with. 14 bikes that move 16 inches.
We read the tournament report. It was all the same.
Yeah.
I think they're closer to the best army than anybody else.
Probably.
I'm not gonna objectively say they're the best.
I think they're top 5 for sure. I mean, assuming. I feel like you got to call Imperium at number 1, like Marines, Space Marines at number 1, just from their win rate right now is really good.
Their win rate is against Marines. Like,
I mean,
by math, they mostly play each other.
Yeah, well, that's because they're the best army.
Right.
But then I think Chaos Space Marines are number 2, from what their win rate is, and then it's showing like probably Custodes or Harlequins are kind of the 2 single faction armies. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm hoping I can actually do it because it's an army that plays so much different than the way I play. It's extremely low model count.
It's extremely fast.
Like I'm used to playing.
He plays stuff super fast too.
He does play.
I do like playing stuff. I usually play like 1 or 2 things that are fast.
I do think you have to worry about like Harlequins. Harlequins are fast, but they're not like fast durable.
I know.
You gotta watch out because you get a squad of bison or something, they'll just go down. They do have
like a Telemon Dread.
They do have mortal. Well, yeah, but Telemons are in trouble because their bikes do mortal wounds.
Yeah.
With their guns, so they have the same guns as Talos.
I will say that the back on the Custodes, the Palace Grav Attack, Fast Attack tank.
Yeah.
Be looking out for those if you're playing competitively. Those things are good.
Is that the little?
Are you thinking about picking one up?
No, I'm not spending any money on 40K for a while, but I would if I was full of money.
Test one out with one of your other tanks.
Because they have a 16-inch movement, they fly, they still. Like they're one of the.
God.
Yeah,
they're one of the grav tanks that still gets to fly, so that's kind of neat.
16 inches is a lot of movement.
For a tank, yeah. For anything.
They have a 5 of them vulnerable though, so in a 3-up save, so they're not quite that good.
Something with not a 4-up.
But they're only 95 points.
Oh!
Yeah.
What?
Jesus Christ!
He told me that. He's like, yeah, it's only 9. I was like, whoa, back up.
Okay.
And it's got the same gun as the Telemon Dread big gun.
Sure, why not?
2 shots.
That's better than your moped or whatever, your go-kart.
I think they're good. I mean, they were
85 for heavy.
Yeah, his has invulnerable and a 2-up save.
Yeah.
Oh, it has a 3-up save.
It has a 3-up save and a 5-up invuln, but it has 16 inches of movement, and it flies.
It flies.
Oh, it's not the same gun. It's only a heavy 2, strength 7, -4, 3 damage.
Oh, only.
Oh.
But you reroll against vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Right.
there you go. There it is. And is it objective security?
It's not.
Oh.
Okay.
It will not be.
How do you play something in the army that's not
Objective security.
But that's the other kind of build is a few of those tanks and the Venatari that fly around. So you can be like super. Like I don't see a whole lot of bike lists.
I was gonna say, are the bikes pretty much phased out now?
They're just so expensive and not nearly as
They're
durable.
squished.
They're the obvious target every game. They're just, for me, like when you were playing bikes, I was like it sucked saying, hey, your most mobile unit is your worst unit, but it definitely is. It's just like it bleeds points. It's the only way to bleed Custodes at all. So I think that's the right call.
It's just they're expensive. Like one biker in the Praetors is 5 points cheaper than the tank that I just described. Like I think I'd just rather take 3 of those Palace instead of 3.
Agreed.
I would agree with that. I will, just in case anybody's wondering what the Skyweavers in, because I actually still have that same list on my phone from Battlescribe.
Skyweaver was awesome.
So they have 16 inches of movement. When they advance, they add an auto 6. They hit weapons and ballistic skill on 3s. Their weapon is a 24-inch assault D6, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1, blast weapon. If it targets a vehicle, wound rolls of 4+ wound. Wound rolls of 4+, they do a mortal wound, and a wound of 6+, it does D3 mortal wounds.
Jeez.
And their melee is strength 4, AP -2, flat 2 damage, and they get 3 attacks apiece. So,
Yeah, they're nasty.
yeah. And they're -1 to hit for shooting. They have a 4-up invuln. And they can advance and charge in the same turn. And they, if they fall back, they can still shoot and charge.
Do they have a 6-up save too?
They have a 4-up save.
Okay. 'Cause most of the Harlequins have a 6-up save, which is what their real downside is. They have 4 invulnerable, but only got 6-up save. You run into like a ton of bolters and it's just over.
Yeah, they're just 4-up. So, but I think they're good. I'm excited about. If I can get them, I'd really like to do that. And then of course the fusion pistol's crazy. It's strength 8, AP 4, damage D6.
Even the transports have like 6 shots on them that are
Yeah.
pretty good.
And the transports move crazy
The
far.
crazy thing about it is their transports hold 6. They look exactly like Venom's, which only hold 5, which is bullshit.
That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah, because Venom, like, having a character in the transport with the troops would be great, but no.
Yeah. Also, you got to remember the Star Weavers and Sky Weavers are all -1 to hit.
Yeah.
So if it's not custodes, it hurts to shoot at them, and that's the only thing you can shoot at.
-1 to hit still affects custodes. It just doesn't affect them as much.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll go on to questions of the week. It was
All
fun
right.
getting to talk about updates. It feels like we actually had a lot of updates to talk about this week. So
Tell them on Dreads.
tell them on Dread. It's hot.
All
It
right.
is.
Our questions for this week. Leighton V, whose birthday was yesterday, via email. Since Thousand Suns literally only have 10 unique data sheets, do you think they deserve their own codex, or should they be a supplement of Chaos Space Marines?
Yes.
We should delete thousands.
They should have their own codex.
Yeah.
They have a damn Primarch.
Yeah.
I agree.
100%.
Yeah, I-
Needs its own codex. Necron's only had like 10 units until this codex.
They have a lot of specific units. that
Should they make more units?
Well,
Thousand Suns?
they
Yeah.
should always make more
Yeah.
units in everything.
I agree. They should make
Really? Even Space Marines?
Not Space Marines.
Okay.
But they did make more
Space
units.
Marines. They did that
I'm
already.
just saying.
They already did that for like. It's been 84
Yeah,
years
and I bet we will-
of
I bet we
fucking
will.
Space Marines releases.
Because we've already seen Death Guard models coming, at least one. So I'm sure we'll get Thousand Suns models, at least a few. Because they have a pretty much a new line. They're kind of one of the poster boys for Chaos.
Yeah, I want everybody to get their own codex. Yeah. All right. Alexandra M via Facebook. If you guys could design your own model, what army would it be in? What would it do? And how many points should it cost? That's a great question.
That
So
is
it's a very complicated question.
That's a very deep question.
Yeah, I don't know if that's when we answer
Short
today.
version.
Okay, go ahead.
Right now, because of my Necron stuff,
It would be a Necron?
it would be a Necron.
Okay.
It would be an HQ.
Okay.
It would be a named character.
Okay.
He would have some sort of bazooka that harnessed all the Necron power. But he'd be a small guy on a small base, and it would be like a decent. It'd be like a crazy powerful weapon, but he wouldn't have like hardly any movement. So I
Move
want
like 3 inches.
I want like an anti-vehicle cross the table ranged weapon on a small character
That barely moves.
that barely
What
moves.
if he can only shoot if he doesn't move, like the Death?
Yeah,
Death-
Something
I'm
like
good
that,
with
yeah.
that. Something
Just the
like
guy
that.
holding the death cannon from the Doom cannon or whatever.
Yeah,
Just
or
holding
he's
it.
like the psyker version of a Necron. He opens up a portal and somebody from the other side of the portal shoots the gun through it, and it's like and just like
How many points would it be? Or should
like
it be?
190.
That's probably fair.
It'd be cool. Or his bazooka just shoots Catan shards.
Yeah, but really like 190. It'd be like a heavy D6 thing, heavy D6 cannon.
Something like
And I would want like more than 48-inch range
Ooh, on a character?
on a character.
I don't know about that. Come on now.
Well, you can't see more than 48 across the table 99% of the time anyway.
If he's an infantry character, you just stick him on the top of a building or something.
But like, or make him like 240, but don't make him have line of sight. Like he opens a portal from here and a portal over there, and it's just like a portal opens up in front of the guys, right in their face. That'd be dope.
I don't know about that.
Non-line of sight character.
240 is a lot.
Agree, it would be dope. Also agree, it would be too powerful.
Okay,
Non-line of sight character with an anti-vehicle weapon. That's what I want.
Troy?
I want another Marine Prime or Chaos Marine Primarch. That'd be sweet. I don't care which one. Then I can take a super heavy of them.
You can play the Kite Tan Destroy.
No. We're not doing that.
Garbage.
Yeah, I know. You can take the Lord of Skulls too.
So something for Chaos Space Marines, a Primar.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool things you could do. Like, I really would like to see a new Jakari model. I don't care what it is, but I see people like that have played the game forever talk about a lot of named characters that are gone, that aren't in the line anymore. Which kind of sucks. Like the Vect guy, he used to have a model apparently. Now he's just got a stratagem. It's a really powerful stratagem, but
Yeah.
how do we have a stratagem for a guy and we don't have a model for him? That kind of sucks.
Zach.
I want a T9 Marauder model.
Oh god,
That's fair.
That's what I want.
that thing should be T9.
Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
have
on board with
infoms.
this.
I'm cool
Yeah,
with that.
I'm on board with it.
How many points?
Can we just get it?
It's 300 points now. I think that's way overcosted.
Yeah, 300 points is still fair.
Let's bump it up to the T9 and
I don't know why they can't just take the Impulsor Shield Generator and put it on the Marauder. Like, the thing's huge and it deserves to have an Impulsor.
I don't know what the other model was. Big Forge World Flyer that you had to have 24-inch range guns to even shoot.
Oh
it.
yeah, the Manta.
That's a really cool rule. Like I would like
Because it just flies so
Yeah,
high.
so high.
because
yeah,
it's so high up in the air.
That's the Tau one that you can actually fit like Tau models in it.
That's cool.
It's like add 24 to anything that shoots at
Just like most guns
so
just can't even shoot it.
your small arms don't even matter. That kind of rule. That's the kind of rule I would want
cool.
if I was going to do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It wouldn't have to be T9 if that was the rule though,
Because it could be so high in the air.
But that or a T9 Baneblade, like just guard armor is just so
Zach
bad.
just wants T9. He's got a T9.
They've
bone.
taken
I
it
feel
away
like
from pretty much everything.
I feel like
Yeah,
guard-
everything
guards
but
in this-
Warlord Titans.
Yeah.
guards in this box where like they're supposed to die, like they just win by sheer amounts of numbers, but there's no play to it at all.
They got so good in 8th edition that really isn't their strategy anymore because you can't take that many models. They
Right.
priced them out of what their strategy
It's
is.
just all this -4 AP means you get no saves versus anything. It's so rough. Like you could still keep the kind of you don't get a save, and it just eats through your armor like appeal that you would get at T9 on the like super heavies, not on like a Rust, but like on the big stuff. Make it a little bit harder to kill without giving it an invulnerable save.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be really cool.
What about if Russes and stuff were like T8, but they have +1 to their save?
They are T8.
I know. But if they have +1 to their
What
save,
if
would
they
that
just
would that
say-
balance them out better in the meta?
I
do you
think if they had a 2-up save, I think I've thought that forever that all armor should have.
Oh, they have a 3-up right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
I thought they already had a 2-up. I was like, they need basically a 1-up.
Yeah. What if they said? What if we got like a special rule where like Russ's only can take like -3 AP? Like they can't like more.
Yeah,
AP,
cap the AP.
Yeah, cap
Same
the
thing.
AP. Maybe 2 seems like too good, but I could see it. I don't know how you would lore wise.
Just because it's hollow.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the shots, even if it shoots through, it's not relevant.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What about you, Chad?
I want a Psyker. Yeah, like I want something that has a psychic phase.
There's a lot of
And,
those.
yeah, but a good one.
There are-
Like Chief Librarian Tigarius is probably the best Psyker
No.
in
In Ultramarines?
in
Sure,
Ultramarines, and specifically in Ultramarines.
I was like, whoa, no.
Maybe in Space Marine.
It might be in space.
might
I don't
be-
know.
Him and Mephiston.
Yeah,
I would say
Mephistons pretty good.
Mephiston is who I was thinking.
That or like there's a character that like rides around in a tank, Kronos. Maybe another.
Those kind of characters are kind of neat.
I would like to see another character like I think Pask should be that way too. Like a lot of
Just
named
jumps out of that tank
yeah,
and gets in another one.
Like they have those. They have those. The
Jumps out of
3
tank
new like land.
That would be cool.
Like
That'd
the
be a
3
cool
new
role.
land speeders, they're just the speeders, but I want like there to be one that like has a named character in it that does like when if
They
it blows
already
up,
are one of those.
Yeah, but like
He's a Dark Angel. He's a Dark Angel only. But yeah, that is the thing.
like but in Ultramarines, like then
Yeah.
he can jump out and be like, "Sup, it blew up, but I'm here. Come get me."
Okay. We can go back and go like Tank Commander Baneblades.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that.
Tank Commander
I do think
Beyblade,
that
that
I
would
always
be
thought
cool.
that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Something
do
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
I just want. I
Give orders
want.
to other Beyblades.
I definitely. I would definitely take some form of a anti-armor character that didn't need line of sight. Whatever points would be to make him appropriate, I would fit him just because he can't be easily targeted, and then I don't have to worry about playing
So they're
stuff.
kind of like the shock attack gun guy from Orcs.
Yeah.
Kind of big power.
Yeah.
Like if I want
I
to
just don't want a huge base. Like I want to
Like
be able to. I'd rather him just not be able to move.
like if I have a psyker, I want it to be like have like some kind of like super lookout star. Like he can't be targeted if he's anywhere close.
Yeah.
Like,
that is what lookout search.
no, like I mean, like at all. Like he can't be. He can't be targeted. You have to melee him or something.
Well, that's insane.
That's insane.
Unless he only has melee abilities.
It doesn't really matter though, because it's not your psychers that suck; it's your psychic powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Takiri's is just as good as, well, not Armon, but like a regular,
Yeah.
like regular Thousand Suns psyker. The psychic powers he's throwing out suck.
Yeah. Let's say Armon would clap the shit out of
he
Takiri.
was.
I think it's hilarious though that while we're sitting here thinking of rules and stuff, if I were to describe the rule sheet on a Telemann Dread, you guys would be like, "That's too good."
That's true.
We
100%.
Same with the Nightbringer. If you would have described that, I'd be like, "There ain't no fucking way."
Yeah, that thing's busted. I would never come up with anything like that. Like
Yeah.
that does not fit in the game.
What it could be is like, you guys remember his character, the Thunderfire Cannon?
Yeah.
It could be like the Necron
Oh, God.
version of that. So like you've got like a guy that's opening the portal, and then you got like a bunch of warriors that are like shooting the gun, and he's just like aiming
like
the
it.
portal.
I like it. All right.
That's a good,
That's-
that's a
that's-
good
yeah,
question.
That's a good question, but we could go on forever.
we have to have a deeper dive on that. All right. Karsten B, Warhammer 40K. Which army or list would you
Custos.
say? Yeah. Okay.
What is this?
Which army or list would you say would be the most difficult to kill in terms of durability? Which army would you have the most problems removing models from the table with? So most durable,
Two-part.
no question, Custodes. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
I think
it depends
probably.
on your definition, but yeah, probably. Like, I think a ton of orcs would also be pretty hard to, like,
They're
just
not
wade through.
durable though.
They're not, no.
You're going to take all.
But as an army, they are, because you're not going to wade through that.
I mean, you might with blast
Well,
rolls.
yeah, that's true. It is still.
If I think durability, I think Custodes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the opposite. Well, army just can't kill anything right now.
Demons is rough. Nids is rough.
The demons are fine. Nids are garbage.
Well, demons is rough because it's become a super, not shooting in the form of like 8th edition where it was just sit on the other side of the table and kill it, but like, you can't run keepers up in there and just hope to kill them with
Get it.
yeah, because then you'll just be taking meltas to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
Nids is probably.
but Nids is definitely Nids is like demons light because
Yeah, exactly.
they have good rules.
All right. Broseph B, Warhammer 40K. This is a hot topic going around the internet right now. I really like this selfie trend. I personally have no idea why some people lose their shit over it. What's so wrong with wanting some attention on yourself and your minis? There's
Nothing's wrong with
There's
it.
nothing wrong
we
at all.
don't know why people are losing their shit either.
Yeah, it's
Except for
fine.
Zach.
I don't understand why it's a thing, but whatever. If that's what makes you happy,
Yeah.
go right
Not
ahead.
losing sleep over it.
Yeah,
So.
no one's upset. Show off your minis.
Yeah, get to see more people, whatever. I don't know about the doing it with your shirt off. That's a little much, but whatever.
True.
Yeah,
I'll agree.
I agree. Yes.
I'll agree.
But yeah, sure. I like to see all the paint jobs though.
Yeah.
I've seen more well painted models since this started.
I've
than-
just seen more like beards that were like belly button length.
Oh my
There's a
yeah.
lot of beards out there.
A
Well,
lot
people
of
have been
beards.
inside for a while.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like I was like, damn, those are some long. Like I've seen so many like
You're like
beards
looking
that
at
are
your
like
beard and you're like, I got.
I'm like, I've never felt so inadequate.
I just think of it as if you walked into a huge ass game store, you'd see the same thing.
Yeah.
So that means put your shirt back on.
Yeah. Put your fucking shirt on. Next question.
JR via Twitter. Since the changes to Forge World models and Space Marine models in general, what is the best dreadnought now? Okay, look,
Oh, come on,
we just spent like
It is the Telemann.
It is the Telemann.
It's not debatable.
It's the only T8 one anymore, so yeah, it's got a lot going for it.
And if you're not playing Custodes,
It's the character dreadnought in Space Marines, probably.
Is that even still a thing? I thought they got rid of that.
Nope, it's still a thing.
They got rid of the
And he
chaplain.
got buffed.
No, they
the
got rid of
relic's
cha-
still good.
The chaplain
Okay.
dreadnought is
Chaplin's gone.
he's gone.
No, there's a character dread that's definitely, and he got buffed. I can't remember his name, but it's a named dreadnought.
Oh, the main dreads.
Yeah,
Librarian Dread and Blood Angel's probably
Yeah.
still pretty good.
yeah.
Librarian Dread's
And the
still
Relic
good.
Leviathan is still good. 'cause
I think if you're going to play the Relic Leviathan, though, you might want to look. It's not just auto storm cannon array
Yeah,
anymore.
I
You
think
might want to
so.
look at the other
Yeah.
arms.
correct. I've been messing
Like
with
the
it.
grab flux seems pretty good now to me. So now
But
you
what-
can explore a little bit in that.
Yeah.
that
But
part.
what's the best Telemon dread?
Telemon.
Telemon.
Mathematically, it's the
Mathematically.
Telemon.
Underneath the Telemon, there's a few vying for it, but yeah.
It's one. Everybody else fighting for
Which,
one.
of course, there's no Chaos Telemon, so why would there be?
There should be no other.
There should be no other. Yeah, I agree. It shouldn't exist.
I think the Chaos Leviathan should still be T8 then.
Jed B for Warhammer 40,000. What are your thoughts on the new Death Watch and Space Wolves rules? So we talked about this earlier. Anvil will actually play Death Watch, and he'll be back next week and get in the book. And none of us have seen the Space Wolves book, so we're going to table your question till next week.
It's going to be the question of the week.
It'll be the question of the week next week. We'll deep dive. We'll get to see the books, and we'll deep dive Death Watch and Space
Anvil's
Wolves.
going to tell us whatever the broken tech is, because he'll know it by then.
Yeah.
So.
He's already got some pretty crazy stuff.
But so preview for next week. Death Watch and Space Wolves review. So
Thanks for sending in the question of the week.
yeah, makes everything a little easier. The Bill Hammer via Reddit. I like that name. Do you guys think it would be cool if they made 40k rules for all of the Age of Sigmar armies? Also, what is the best Age of Sigmar army to kit bash from?
No. They can't even get their current army rules.
I think
right.
yes. I think yes.
No.
That's because the
I have
army
no
you
idea.
play was a Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah, you are playing a Sigmar army already.
Yeah. But just because they have I think some of their models are way cooler than Warhammer.
Oh,
40K.
Age of Sigmar has better kits.
Yeah, that's
hands
what I'm
down.
saying. I love like their models.
But all of their armies would either have to have like really awkward, basically magical shooting, or they would all be melee.
I think he's talking about actually giving them a futuristic version.
Yeah.
like the
Not, well, it
dwarves.
says rules.
Yeah, well, yeah. So like, you give like the dwarves like bolters or whatever. Like that was kind of my
Sure,
thought.
if they were going to do that.
You were just want to make rules for the models? No, I don't.
Just
think so.
integrate them into Warhammer. No?
No.
You not a fan?
'Cause they basically already have. You got like Eldar elves.
Yeah. Yeah,
Orcs are
they
orcs.
need to focus on the armies they currently have out and make sure that the rules they're releasing are correct for
I
those
mean, the
armies.
rumor is we're getting a new army, so I think.
It'll probably be a 40k or a Sigmar variant, I'm sure.
But don't you want like trees walking around with bolters and stuff like that?
That'd
Sounds
be
cool.
dope.
That's what I'm saying. Like zombie. Like,
I
they have, like,
want the
vampires or
bone
something.
army, the
bone guys.
undead army.
Yeah, you have the bone army. It's just made of metal instead of bones.
Sure.
Well, give me metal and bones in one thing. Just hybridize the codexes.
I honestly don't know very much about Sigmar. But I have. What is that box we bought?
Oh yeah, it's
There's corn and what was the Imperial?
the whatever the gold boys. I forget what.
Stormlords?
Stormcast.
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 Stormcast Eternals.
Yeah, he made some blood angels on them that look dope.
Kit
Yeah,
bash,
I've
yeah.
used those for kit bashes quite a bit.
Yeah, they look awesome.
All right, Michael C. Warhammer 40,000. I was thinking about doing an army in UV reactive paint. What's a good brand to use that has the best coverage, etc., that doesn't need an airbrush?
Don't put UV on without an airbrush.
That was kind of my thought. I was like, I don't know much about it, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
If you're
want
gonna
airbrush.
UV your whole army, you're already spending like triple the money on your UV paint.
That's what I was
Buy
thinking.
an
Isn't that
airbrush.
expensive? For
Make your hobby experience better.
We talked about this last week. Like, spend that money on that airbrush.
Yes.
If you're going to spend all that money.
Your question is invalid.
For fuck's
Like,
sake.
so what is UV reactive? It's like just like black light.
It's
paint or
black light
something?
paint,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh.
yeah, definitely an airbrush.
Definitely get it.
Because your brush strokes will be
Yeah, it'll be
so obvious.
Yeah, especially when you do the black light thing, they'll be.
Yeah, they're gonna look atrocious. And the thing is most UV paints are not like heavily pigmented, so you need to actually pick a color underneath that's also going to be like a variant of your UV color.
So would you say it'd be better to like highlight certain
Yes.
aspects, like do swords in UV or something
or
like that?
eyes? I would
Like,
do
don't
eyes
do the
in
whole
UV.
army, 'cause then it's just gonna be how black light works. When you switch, it's just gonna be one color.
Here's a purple
Yeah.
blob. You
Yeah.
know?
I would do like eyes in UV or like power swords in UV or something like that.
Power swords would be sweet.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you got to have a UV light around.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Like if you were to go through the trouble, like if I was going to go through the trouble to UV paint my whole army, right?
Then we'd be.
I
playing
would get
games in the dark.
get little UV black lights and put them in the eyes so that I could just turn them on and the UV on the body
Ooh, that'd be cool.
would glow.
Or if you've got like your own room and people come over to your house to play, you just have like one light and then don't tell everyone. You switch it like a shop light or something. Like boop.
It's kind of
Under the tip.
we're getting back into the it puts the lotion on its skin kind of places
Whoa.
like Verosco has.
Needs less,
Needs
Clarice hanging out.
yes. Needs less human flesh.
All right. Don G via Facebook. Our question of the week. Now that we have been in 9th edition for a while, what is something that each of you missed from 8th edition that you would bring back? Also, what is something from 8th edition that you are glad is now gone?
Chaos cultists. I wish they would got brought back.
They are back. They're still around.
No,
I actually wish they would leave the codex. Get
they're
their own.
not back. They're not back. They're not like 8th
What do you
edition.
what do you
cultists.
miss,
I miss cultists.
Troy?
I missed the alternating deployment.
I knew you were both going to say
really
that
like
when I
that.
read the question.
Yeah,
That's not what I was going to say, but that's a really good one.
I do miss
I want
that.
to change to that one.
Like, it was huge, and it definitely made first turn, second turn not matter
As much.
as much. Yeah, it still mattered, but I actually think it favored second turn that time. But just overall, like, I like the tacticalness of it, and I don't know.
I miss not knowing who's going first before you deploy. I mean that's
No,
That's how it is now.
You miss knowing.
I miss knowing who's going first.
So you all deployment.
No, it's not just.
That's not just that. I mean,
But they've made a lot of the other things, like points, like are a lot easier. Like secondaries are great. Like ITC had them pretty far down, but it was still like how much could you kill? Now there's a lot more going for it.
I missed the reroll almost anything.
Yeah,
Like when you really need a truck to not explode
yeah. That
or
was.
to explode, you had the option to reroll.
or Bobby
Yeah.
to stand back up, 'cause that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, some of it was kind of frustrating, but the things that I like, I want to be able to reroll.
I
The
miss
things that Chad
Supreme.
likes, no, not so much.
I miss Supreme Commands. I like as
I do
demons,
not. I do
I
not.
know,
Supreme
like, for the
commands
most
were
part,
so
yes.
bad for the game.
They were, but getting that many HQs and demons, which is like the only good thing in the
Yeah, but
army.
would you even play it now with Abhor the Witch and Assassinate?
Yes, I would.
You would still play.
Yes, I know.
That's-
I would
that's-
play in
that's
guard.
just-
I'd play spring.
That's just something I give up, man. I have to accept it. Because I'm taking 3 keepers if I can, and it's really hard to take 3 keepers without. You have to take a battalion.
Missed the.
Was it we were saying you couldn't even take 3 at the vault?
You can't do that.
Can't do the lit.
Yeah, but
You
that's
couldn't do that in 8th edition either.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
You should
you
be
could.
able to.
You could because you wouldn't have to pay 3 command points for each super heavy.
Yeah,
But I actually like that effect.
see, I don't like that. It's like if I want to play a Baneblade, which is bad in the meta, it's costing me 3 CP.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Super
You
heavy
should be-
costing 3 is a little much.
You
but-
should be able to play your cool models.
So what are you happy the most that's gone?
The lookout sir rule changes is, I think, is way better now.
Yep.
I'm tired. I was so tired of the cheese.
You go. It's
Oh,
in
you
this
can't
building.
shoot this guy because my scouts are on this half the board over here. Dumb.
I agree with that for sure.
Let's see. I'm trying to think what my.
They didn't actually get rid of like that. I do agree is a good change, but they didn't change that much.
I am so happy the CP effects have changed.
That's where I was going to go.
The CP from a custodes player, super stoked.
Didn't really
Player,
affect
As
me.
everybody else, not so much.
I was starting at 13. Now I'm starting at 11. It's not a big deal for mine.
I hated that, like, you were basically pigeonholed into playing triple battalion.
I
Yeah.
agree.
It has made army making open up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I got into custodes at the very end of 8th edition when it was really hard to build mono custodes lists because you had no CP. And then moving into 9th, it's like this is the best army ever. So that's been super cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have to struggle through all of 8th with it. So
It just seems like it's, to me, that was just like such bad gameplay. And that lended itself to things like cultists being overpowered because they were cheap and easy to fill battalions with. It's like now there's a cost to playing stuff like that.
and everybody played the loyal 32.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I think both of those things are better.
That's probably definitely one of the things.
Is there anything to kind of expand on this? Is there anything that needs fixed?
I don't like the new morale. I see the new morale is interesting because it's really effective on big units, but it really hurt. Like you fail your morale by 1. Like Kmon failed his morale by 1 the other day.
Yep.
8th edition we lost 1 guy, but he ended up rolling pretty bad and he lost like 5 guys.
5 guys.
But he still only failed his morale by 1. So like I don't know. Like I understand it, but I don't like it. I don't think it's objectively worse. It's just it seems wrong.
I'm trying to think about the things, the 9th edition things that I like the least right now. I mean, my biggest issues is there's so well things like the FAQ not affecting all the flamers, right? That's annoying. And then a lot of
it affects like 99% of them.
none of the chaos ones.
No, it does. It's just not the warp,
Well, I guess not the 1,000
which is the 1,000 sunspot. Like,
but it's stuff like I don't like that. I swear it didn't affect the regular marine one either.
it should.
The like maybe it's the combi flamer.
It should be
All the
flamers
ones that
across
are
the
like
board.
universal should be changed.
I
Yeah, it should be. They might have just not gone in the book or something.
Even the Forge World ones have updated now. So
It's like even Eldar Power Swords got upgraded.
If it's like the Thousand Suns one, when the Thousand Suns book comes out, it'll.
Well, the Thousand Suns one's a little different. It's a warp flamer, so it's not actually a flame. So I don't know. Maybe they were like, this guy can't throw fire that far, so like whatever.
But and then I feel like a lot of armies haven't been adjusted for the 9th edition gameplay. Like there's some FAQs they could have released for a lot of armies. I think that could adjust them enough.
Then they don't have to sell the codex.
Well, I mean, light FAQs, like just to hold them over to the codex. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
there's a couple armies that are unplayable right now.
No army's unplayable.
In competitive.
No army's like Nids is actually doing good. Not good, but they're not doing horrible. Like Tao's actually the bottom winning army right now, and I think Tao's really good. Shows you what I know.
Yeah, they are like the worst army in the meta right now.
But I think everybody's
like
still playing the 8th edition list. I think you have to.
Don't play 3 Riptides.
Well,
no,
the problem
about that.
Yeah, I think you have to play 3 Riptides.
I don't know about 3 Riptides, but I think you need at least like 2.
I just think like the problem is like that army just like there's nothing to change the way that army plays. Like the codex isn't deep enough to adjust the way it plays. Like it took a complete revamp of the Necron's codex.
Yeah,
I
think that's just the problem in a lot of armies. Like codexes need to be updated.
Yeah, but I feel like the way they're doing their release schedule, like we got Necrons, then we got Marines, and Chaos. Like seriously?
Yeah.
Like, can we stop sucking the Marine dick and fix some of these other armies, please?
Well, the way they did the Marine one though, so like Blood Angels, Space, they were all screwed because they didn't do the Chaos.
Wow, they feel like,
Space Marine book,
but
right?
they have still all of the Marine rules.
But they don't, right? Some of them didn't affect them, right?
Some of the stuff, but there's like literal whole armies that could have used updates. Like,
but they were in a zone where they were like some rules were just missing. So because they were like once
like you still get like Tyranids is bad, but they still get their codex. Blood Angels lost everything except what's in the new codex.
Like they said, the Psychic Awakenings don't work anymore if your codex is out. So like they lost that, but they didn't gain their actual.
Like I bought a new Ultramarine codex.
Those three had to come out like they really should have came out the same day. Like it should all been one thing.
Yeah, or they could have all just been a book.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I could live with that too.
Yeah. Instead of
I don't know why they
spread out to 4
releases.
releases.
To throw in first.
Well, it's like them. It's like that comes down to just being bad at rules writing. Like, why did you eliminate all the Blood Angel stuff before the Blood Angels book came out? Why doesn't Death Guard have access to Forge World? Because, you know, I mean, like, these are things that they could just do.
I think Forge World was kind of an afterthought.
How could it be an afterthought? They've been talking about the revamp of the book for a year.
Yeah, because they wanted to sell it. Like, I don't think.
But it can't be an afterthought if they talk about it for a year.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't think they put a ton of work into where it was going to fit in the releases and stuff.
They're
That's
just
a huge
like,
problem.
this is a good
I agree,
spot.
it's a huge problem, but I just don't think
This goes back to them tests better.
I mean, it's more of a GW thing.
I don't think the book's bad. I think it's tested pretty well. I just think in the general release window, they didn't think about it too much. Like,
They're like
they could have really hyped it up and had Forge World releases with it, like everything else. But they're just like, oh, on top of all these codex, here's this book. Have fun.
I guess that's true. I feel like...
And we ruined a bunch of your armies. Have fun.
Yeah. It's like every...
got better, though.
Yeah, your army got better.
It's like...
Your armies are dead.
I don't know what everybody's complaining about.
Hope you didn't like Elysians.
The book's great.
Or Rebel Guard.
Yeah, that was fine. I was okay with that going away. They had clearly not given it any attention.
I was hoping that was going to be the new army.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool, but I think the new army is supposed to be a alien Xenos race or whatever.
Yeah.
Another Xenos race?
Well, see, the thing about the Rebel Guard, you don't have to make a new army. You just make a book, and people will just kit bash up Rebel Guard.
I hope
you sell Lehman Russ with spikes.
Yeah, done. Well, okay.
I hope the new army is something that's like Nids and Gene Stealer Cult, but for Necrons. That'd be dope.
God.
That'd be dope.
That doesn't make sense though. Like Nids make sense. They turn humans into Nids.
No,
Necrons don't turn humans into Necrons.
Yeah, they sacrifice your flesh. They could be like cultists that are waiting to sacrifice their flesh for metal bodies.
Okay.
That is a thing that happened in the lore.
Okay.
That is how Necrons came to exist, sir.
Well, they weren't humans though. They were whatever Necrons used to be.
Well, we don't need them to be humans.
They could be whatever.
They could be all that rebel guard people that are like, we lost our gods.
They could be anything. They're just a bunch of walking skeletons.
Yeah.
They just need to
See,
be, you know.
you don't sell a spiky rust though. You sell a rust and then you sell a spiky conversion kit. You make double the money.
Yeah. Then you can make new kits.
Yeah, make new kits.
Troy just wants to put spiky bits on a Lehman Russ.
Nah, I couldn't.
Everything needs more spiky bits.
I just want to easily take Basilisk is what it is.
Yeah.
Those things are nasty.
Do we think, so 9th came out in the middle of July. Into June is when they started hyping it, so we're almost 5.5 months in. Where is it? It's good right now, right?
It's good. I just feel bad for.
Better than 8th?
I don't think it was ever bad.
It's better than 8th. 100% better.
Outside of the codexes, it's better than 8th.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, the secondaries are great. They're way better than the cards. They did a really good job. Like, the tournament book is good.
Yeah.
The cards.
The only problem I have
sucks.
with the secondaries is the Pour the Witch and Assassinate should not be able to stack. Pour the Witch shouldn't be in the psychic one. There should be another psychic one, and Pour the Witch should be in the same one as.
Yeah, I agree.
As
Because it's a kill one.
I think
it's
there
literally a kill
yeah.
one.
I think there should just be like 6 more secondaries. I don't know what they would be.
I just think
Well,
they
every
just need
book
to
is
be.
getting 3, so they're kind of doing that.
That's my biggest complaint about is the secondaries need tweaked.
Yeah, I would say I don't think we need 6 more. They just need to be better written.
I think there need to be a few more.
They did the maps. The missions are cool. And there's a lot more than 6, so it's a lot more.
Yeah.
I
They
hate
did
the
a great-
really small deployment mission though, with like the square in the
square
middle.
Yeah, that's the one we got.
I'm done.
I don't like that most of them are 24 inches away, but I can live with it. But as a melee 12-inch movement army, 24 inches is a long.
And I think
distance.
there'll be more, missions as they come, like in the tournament.
Well, I think we agreed they're going to release a tournament book
pack
probably
every year.
Yeah, the way they set it up, it seems like that would be their plan.
At
Maybe
least,
even every
and if they don't, then hey, listen to our podcast and do that. Come
Well,
on,
I think even if they don't, ITC will.
somebody will.
Somebody will have
book,
to.
yeah.
Somebody will
because
have to.
there
We can't be
will-
the only ones with this idea.
Well, because the thing is, you got to remember with the deployments guaranteed and the objectives known, like there's going to be, once tournaments start happening again, there are going to be players that just figure out mathematically the best army for all of these deployments.
Yeah.
Because you know what the deployment zones look like with each mission, whereas you used to not know what your deployment zone looked like with the mission.
Sure.
So it's much easier to go, okay, well, mathematically to score maximum points on these missions.
Back to what I missed from 8th, actually, randomly, I just remembered, is the give your whole army cover strategy if you went second.
Yes, dude. I
didn't like
hate
that.
that they took that away.
That was a good one. I don't think they should have taken that away.
Yeah, I don't know why they did. Like, it felt like a good balancing point.
I don't know. Some kind of weird rules interaction, probably that somebody cheated. Not cheated, but like figured out. I don't know. It had to be something.
Yeah.
It was really powerful and everybody loved it as far as I know.
Yeah, and it was balanced. I mean, I didn't feel like it was broken.
Only thing I don't really truly like in 9th is that if you go first, you have such an advantage.
Yes.
Like
Which
you
is kind of where all that deployment stuff goes.
Like you have such an advantage going
They
first.
helped. They made it. They tried to equalize it in 8th to go second, and they took all that away.
They went too far the other way.
Does it still feel that bad though?
It
No.
does. I think it feels that bad.
It doesn't when
the
you play
win-
Stoves. that's for sure.
So the win percentage they released it is right now 51-49 from first to second.
I don't
See,
think
it felt
so.
pretty bad at first, but I don't think it's.
It's like 51-49. It's like negligible. I think they said like it was like 53-47 was like the worst it had been generally for armies from first to second. It's just the problem is you don't remember the games you go second and win.
Mhm.
You remember the games you go second and lose.
I don't know. I know I've been. Custode's one of the best armies, so it's like it doesn't feel like I lose a lot of games.
I went second one against the Orcs.
First or second doesn't seem to really matter.
Yeah.
You did. But Cleveland didn't have like a lot of long range firepower to challenge you.
Well, he did. It's just they all hit on 5s and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
That's the problem with orcs.
Yeah. And you get like D6 shots and D6
By the time he
strength
got
and-
in there,
It's so
a lot of
swingy.
stuff was dead.
I think the first and second issue is less relevant than you feel it is. It's just that you aggressively deploy no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go second, you get the hammer dropped on you.
Like,
Because you're always the
Like your
guy that's
bikes
like,
have-
I lost a squad of eradicators on turn 1, and it's like, how? They can move and shoot. That should never, ever happen.
Yeah, and your bikes, they have what, like 14-inch move?
Yeah.
You put them on the
Like-
line every time, you can easily just hide them behind a building, lose 2 inches of movement.
I've been less aggressively deploying in recent games.
You got table by night, so you must not be
Well,
that
he
much
didn't.
less
It
aggressive.
must mean games since then, because he didn't. He did not then, that's for sure.
Well, I knew they were coming.
Like, going second is always going to feel bad if you put your army on a platter for your opponent.
You have to deploy like you're gonna go second.
Yeah.
Pretty much every game.
Yeah, I always do.
Now that you can't alternate and you don't know.
Well, now that I don't have a let's move all my stuff stratagem.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
still-
play like the rest of the federalists.
Yeah, I still, like, I have the let's move all my stuff stratagem, and I still deploy initially as if I'm going second, and if I go first, plan to use that move to get offensive. Because you should just always play defensive.
I liked when I had that stratagem, deploy aggressively if I go first, I can get real aggressive if I really want to do it, or if I go second, I can just hide the 3 things that are the most important.
I have it in Jakari, and I mostly use it to kind of bait my opponent to put stuff where I want him to put it.
Yeah.
So I'll put it's like put my
That's the
ravagers up
player.
Well,
here.
mine's only 6 inches of movement.
So I'll like load up one side, and they'll load up 2 on the same side. And it's like, well, I think I'll take this side over here and just let you have that.
Yeah, now see, that's how I do it with the Thousand Suns list and stuff, is I can deploy that aggressively, because then I can just tuck everything.
Yeah, back with the alternating unit deployment instead of just deploying your whole army. You can definitely kind of bait people to go where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like the Custodes one is the Warlord plus 1 infantry unit. Your infantry unit is a 700 point squad of Terminators.
God.
So you put them one place, and then you definitely are going to play in accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can just to the other side.
Which is why I
And
don't
then
like.
and they all
Which is why I don't like that square map that Aaron was talking about, because you can't really do that.
Right.
You're like stuck in a corner with one. Yeah, I don't like that deployment.
Yeah, that's I would definitely say that, those are some things that could use some dialing in for you as far as like the way you play. You're just like, every time I play against you, I'm like, hey, thanks for putting everything right in line of sight. Especially because you know that, like, when you play against Necrons, we've been talking 4 weeks. It just shreds Space Marines. It's like the anti-Space Marine army, and you're like, let me put my army on the line.
Well, I mean, if it's just the whole theory is it's going to shred anything. Even one thing that you can see, it's going to shred.
We've upped the amount of terrain we've played, right? We've been putting terrain to
We keep adding terrain.
Yeah, it's like there's definitely been places to keep models out of line of sight. We've been trying that constantly. We've got a ton of terrain on the table now.
Yeah, I just always noticed that Chad's army is literally a line at the edge of the deployment zone.
Yeah. Like, we were actually worried the Knights weren't going to be able to move. There was so much terrain on the table.
Yeah.
And you still got your army blown off the board.
What are you doing?
You be less aggressive.
Only 2 of his Knights even had guns.
Just imagine for a second, you're an infantry dude, and there's this building-sized robot that murders anything it can see.
Not house size, like office building size.
Yeah.
What would you do? Stand in the street and shoot
it
at it?
first.
Or
With what?
hide in
Okay.
a building?
So that thing's back so far. Okay.
No.
Stop.
Office building size.
No.
You can see it from the horizon.
But I can't reach it because I had to be within 24 inches to reach it.
Building like a normal human.
So I make it just come to me.
Yes.
I like how Chad's
But
just
it's
like,
not
well,
gonna
stand in
do
the street and
that.
shoot at it.
Then if it
What would
doesn't
you
do that,
Because then we had 4 objectives. It's just going to sit on one and hold it forever.
Yeah, but there's only 4. So you're
You
never
have
going to hold
5.
more if you hold 2.
You have 5 turns. You don't have to kill it on the first turn.
You actually don't have to kill it at all. You hold objectives way better.
yeah.
No, I don't, because to hold the objectives, which are, by the way, in the open,
Yes.
it can then shoot me because it's the size of an office building. So I have to get in range of it to kill it before it can kill me.
But you don't have to get range of it in the first turn. Like, you can move.
I
behind-
wasn't. I was in the building.
No, you weren't.
I had to move
Yeah,
up
I
to
did.
kill. I had to move out of the building to shoot the knight that was walking at my face. And then because I blew that one to space on the first turn, it was dead. It's like, oh well, now that they moved out to kill one of them, I can shoot him with the other 3.
I just feel like you could have moved it to where you maybe weren't in line of sight of the other
No,
one.
no, you can't.
Maybe not line of sight of all 3 of the other.
Yeah.
Or
Because he
not-
can still move 20 inches or
Or
whatever,
you
too.
could have used Bobby G to fight the punch knight.
It can move 12
and
inches.
targeted the
Look, I
shooting
understand I messed up with
knights.
putting
Could have
Bobby
targeted the
on
shooting
something.
knights, but anyway.
I'm just saying, going second isn't as bad as you feel like it is. I promise. If you stop deploying
It's still
aggressive,
better to go first mathematically. Just saying.
By 1%.
by 1%.
Actually, I think some
2%
armies it is
differential.
better to go second.
Inch or a mile, man.
Like, I think Against Zach, I should have gone second.
Against
It
Custodes.
didn't do you any good to go first.
No, I realized that after I went, like I hadn't played and I hadn't thought about my army, and I was like,
Strategically,
this was a bad idea.
Strategically, I always want to go second. Like, because I want to see what they do and then react to them. But I mean, depending on what if they're
Guard never wants to go second.
No, yeah.
But against the army that has more.
That's my general thought process with Chaos is because I have psychic powers that buff my army. But I want to go first. But I actually -1 was useless, and I didn't even take it on any of my demon princes in that game because it was useless.
Yeah, against anything that has psychic powers or a lot more firepower than me, and I have a lot, I want to go first there.
Well, like playing Necrons, honestly, I want to, as long as the terrain allows me to tuck, I always want to go second. Like I can decide the final turn of the game. I get to decide the engagements that happen because my opponent's going to move up, and then I can counter because I've got so much movement. I can mess with them so much more, right? Unless it's like guard. I don't want guard to shoot at me.
You don't want mana cores hitting you first. That's for sure. Or basilisks or whatever non-line of sight is just going to wreck your army.
That's why I need my character that needs not line of sight with the...
Oh, we're getting not line of sight now too?
That's what I said.
Oh no, you did.
He holds a portal open, and then a bunch of warriors shoot it through the portal, and it just opens up above like a tank. It's like,
60 inches, no line of sight.
No, you never said the no line of sight before. That's busted. 500 points.
297.
Look, a Chimera can do it.
He gets the...
For how many points? How many points is a Chimera?
No, he means mana.
Mana core.
Oh, 100.
It's not a character. It doesn't hit on
So
twos.
I said twice as much.
It doesn't hit on twos.
Give me twice as
It
many
doesn't
points.
have lookout, sir.
300 points.
In the mirror match, you can shoot it first.
Yeah. That's the idea. I pay twice as many points for it, though. And I can only play one in the army.
Oh my god, no. You're gonna give him the Lord of Change, Lord of War treatment. He's worth 1,500 points.
Oh god.
Be a supreme.
I mean, GW would if it was, for sure. But if it was a Space Marine, they'd be like 85 points.
Ooh.
Like seems balanced. And
It-
it'd be a bike, so you could revive it.
You're just so salty about
That is another thing I don't like about 9th edition, which is random. Is it sold out of everything like all the time.
Well, that's the
So
pandemic.
yeah, it's COVID, yeah, but models are hard.
Well, you know what I don't like about 9th edition actually? Core.
I'm okay with it.
I think it's been so far.
It's super
But granted,
early to
it's
call
just
that.
Necron. Just
Yeah.
because it's Necrons right now, and
Well, it's because you have it and everybody else doesn't. It's like the one rule that is bad
But
that you
even
have
when-
that nobody else does.
Wait, that's not true.
Oh.
Telmon Dreads don't have core. The other Dread has core. But
Well, Trajan don't care.
the Treasure don't care. Treasure makes his own
Core is so bad for Necrons.
I think it's bad for Marines too. But I
No,
think,
not really.
I think
Everything's
it's
got
balanced.
core.
Well, everything in Marines is ground pounders.
Yeah.
Destroyers don't have.
No,
They re-roll everything anyway.
Yeah, they do a reroll
for
anyway.
CP,
I thought they had it built in.
they reroll
Hardwired
failed
hatred?
wound rolls
Oh.
of
only
one natively, but you can
So they
spend
just have a
this-
lieutenant stapled to their back.
Goddamn.
But that's one model. Like,
No, I'm sorry.
what about the hex marks? They're literally like the troop choice, but with a sniper rifle, and they don't have core.
I don't know, man.
because they're not troops.
I'm not going to call core bad until
You're
that's
finding a lot of
That's-
specific things to complain about.
That's an easy thing they could FAQ too. Like,
Yeah.
pretty easily. Just like this has core.
This has-
Like I
core
get
now.
that, Doomblade shouldn't have core, but like if it's boots on the ground guy,
Yeah,
you should have fucking core.
Like I think they should have core, or they should take it away from Eradicators.
Scorpex
Something
destroyers don't have core.
Like if you're gonna give it to all Marines that are ground, then you should give it to most troops that are ground.
Exactly.
But I think it should just be troops in my
I'm fine with everything having core.
Well, then it's pointless.
Yeah, that's literally what we had.
I think
Like, is it in this book that says Space Marines?
I
Then
think
it should be
if
Space
it's-
Marine Corps.
if it's
No,
just
no.
if it's a dude, right? If it's not like a vehicle or a bike or something like that,
It's
I
a
think it should be
character?
core. No.
No. The whole point is your characters don't get rerolls.
Yeah, not characters. Like I'm saying, like if it's like just like a dude.
The whole
walking
point
around.
is like it's supposed to be like a guy yelling to get hype his dudes up, and the whole point is that he doesn't do that to himself. He's already
Yeah,
hyped.
which I'm glad they fixed that part.
I do like that. Except
That's
for
the
the
part
Smash
of core they
captain
got
who's
right.
gone down
I've already said my piece on this. You guys are wrong in that.
You're wrong.
You can hype yourself up.
You
Michael
can't.
Jordan did it forever.
You can't.
You can find motivation.
Michael Jordan's a one of a kind.
Okay, here's what
So
we'll
was
do.
the captain.
Here's what
You
we'll
only
do.
played
Let's
one.
go.
No.
Wait. Let's go to the gym. And I want you to bench press as much as you can bench press.
And then
The highest weight.
And then I want you to hype
And then I
yourself
want
up
you
and
to
do
pump yourself up
And
and
do more.
bench more.
I'll probably get it once.
it.
Consistently every time.
The more I do it,
Because you could.
the more I do it, the better I would get.
No, back to back.
That's just how working it is. It's like that's just how working out goes.
No. Same day, just immediately. Every time you're just like pumped.
They should have took.
Conversation is silly.
They shouldn't have took the captain's reroll away from himself.
No, they shouldn't. That's the whole point of the rule.
It should not reroll.
All right.
Moving on.
Let's.
Demon Princes, though, they should. Because they cost way too many points anyway.
They don't cost that many points.
For being worth at least 8 points to your opponent, they cost too many points.
Well, I mean that's
They
a
have to take
that's a
both those
GW
secondary-
wrote bad
They have to
rules.
take both those secondaries, but they're going to.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I agree.
If your opponent's playing 3 Demon Princes and you're not taking those,
Yeah.
you've made a terrible
What's a good
decision.
question for the people for next week?
What's your favorite thing about it?
What's your least favorite thing about 9th edition and why is it core? I'm just kidding.
Just give them the same question as the question
Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
Like, what
What-
don't you like about 8th or 9th edition? What
What do you miss
What
from
did you like-
eighth?
what-
What do
yeah,
you
what do you miss
what
from
are you
eighth?
glad is gone?
do you
or would
Why
you
is
want
Chad
us to
back?
talk about? Yeah, well we know why Chad. Oh yeah, we did have one more question this week. We did have one more question this week, and
It
he
was-
glossed over it. I'll handle this one.
It's from Amber.
Question for the pod. Chad has been getting the boots lately. What is he doing different gameplay wise what is he doing different gameplay wise to try to turn this around? Not loss wise. What strategies or tactics is he changing to improve his play and results?
Well, last 2 games I've done the bootsing, okay,
Because you switched to like heavy dreads.
because I switched to my entire list around. But it's all about movement. That's the most important thing. Movement and deployment. Nothing else matters.
That's a bold statement.
Everything else is just rolling dice.
Yes, agreed, 100%.
Everything else is just up to chance. Like, we've always talked about movement and deployment are the biggest.
But it is.
I don't know if nothing else matters, but they're
But
definitely
he
the
says
biggest.
movement and deployment is the biggest thing, and then when
Well,
we're
he
like,
doesn't know
don't
how
put,
to do it.
then we say don't put your stuff on the line. He's like, but it does.
I'm like that coach that can tell you what to do but can't go do it himself. Like
He well, no. At least now he finally recognizes that that's what needs to be done. So now he can work towards it.
like if they have to come to me, make them come to me. Don't just wait. The game is long.
Before he was just like, I'm going to shoot because shooting's the best. Like, well, you just roll.
Before I was just like, oh, I'm the blue army and Zach's the red army, and I'm like, we're on this line, Leroy, and just get in there. Except for his army, his Blood Angels, and my army's Ultramarines, and his army's good in melee and mine is not. And they all just died.
You super Leroyed me. Those dreadnoughts were in my.
Yeah, well, Zach, that's what he wants to do. I don't always want to do that. I don't probably never want to do that.
Not playing Ultramarine.
I don't have that good a melee,
No.
Bobby G's good melee, but he's a deterrent. He doesn't have to be in there, but if he is in there,
Until they
So
give
long
him
story
the-
short, Chad's not really doing anything.
No, he's playing exact because next week we're gonna talk about Chad getting boots, and he's like, but his sword is on fire. That's gonna be what he says.
I'm the strategy is the hardest part of this game, and it takes longer than
It'd just be a dice game if it wasn't for the strategy.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's
The
what
problem, I feel like the problem is with Chad is as it's always been is he's got the Magic the Gathering confidence, so he just puts it on the line and he just doesn't even think about it until he's rolling
gotta
dice.
risk it for the biscuit, baby.
all my opponents have bigger creatures in mind. Armageddon. Yeah, he just doesn't. think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one, and we will definitely be talking about the new Codex releases. Catch y'all later.